All right, Dad, thanks for coming to my flat. We were in Brighton yesterday shooting someone for a bit of a different video. Quite excited to share that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a new departure.
Yeah, new departure, trying something new.
Very enjoyable process.
Yeah, really, really fun.
So we're doing Yotam Ottolenghi.
Yes, big fan of him. I came along to this shoot. He's really, really kind. Gave us plenty of time, surprisingly. And it's for a magazine called Stern. And I know you have a list there of other people you've shot for Stern.
So Stern magazine is a sort of news magazine in Germany, and the picture department, the picture editor, she's also a writer. She's also a friend, is Dagmar Sealand. And I really love Dagmar. And she has given me amazing assignments, loads of them, bucketfuls of them, but also really interesting people. So she introduced me to Alain de Botton, and then that ended up being a very fruitful relationship that resulted in me doing a book with him on divorce, which was out last year.
Congratulations.
But alongside him, we've got George Soros, the financier and kind of bête noire of the conspiracists in the world.
You mentioned that earlier. What sort of conspiracies?
Well, I mean, it's George Soros and Bill Gates.
Oh, really? Okay.
He's a billionaire, sort of currency trader, speculator. Made a fortune, I think, shorting the pound after Brexit.
Gotcha.
Jamie Oliver, obviously, I've
Massive.
shot Jamie for loads of different publications. Alan Rushbridger, who used to be editor of The Guardian. Max Mosley, who used to run Formula One. Anton Mosselmann, Jürgen Klopp, and Alexander Schulman, who was the editor of Vogue. It was just after she left Vogue, so I got to shoot her for Stern. And then more recently, John Burko, who used to be Speaker of the House, and Yotam.
Cool. What a plethora.
Good word. Yeah.
Yeah, you like that one.
Yeah, so we basically, we were somewhat stymied because I got an email. It wasn't actually Dagmar who commissioned me, but another, one of her colleagues. And Dagmar, annoyingly, had explained to her friend at Stern that I was capable of producing a brilliant portrait. I won't bother reading the email.
Maybe we can pop it up.
We can pop it up. Dagmar had said I was capable of doing a portrait in 5 minutes. And I'd hate that to be my unique selling point.
That's like a pizza delivery, 5 minutes or
yeah,
less.
Exactly.
And then you get it free.
It's fast food. So basically, I, obviously wanted to do Yotam Ottolenghi. I like his recipes and his food. Everybody I know loves him. And he's kind of the sexiest chef, really, in a way.
Well, his restaurants in London, at least, are kind of a go-to spot. Like, you're going to celebrate, you go to Nobu or Ottolenghi.
Yeah, and also because we're now doing the channel, it was another opportunity for Fred to come along.
Get a bit of cash.
Get a bit of cash, sort of for me to settle some funds his way, and also get some B-roll.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got a bit of B-roll for this video. Should add a little bit of something.
Yeah, it wasn't fantastic B-roll, was it?
Oh, I'm not a videographer.
No, you're learning, but we basically were stymied by the magazine people that worked at Stern turning up an hour early, or they gave us the wrong time because they were on German time. And so we arrived and we were already late, unbeknown to us.
As well, like, in addition to that, we've been told we've got 5 minutes and then we turn up an hour late, which stressful situation.
It didn't.
As soon as we arrived, I felt there was a bit of tension.
It didn't start out the way that we wanted it to. And the interview was already in full swing and they were probably wondering where the photographer was.
Yeah.
So it was horrendous.
But considering they turned up, there were smiles. After the initial tension had kind of subsided.
We sort of walked in off the kind of, I think the election was in full swing, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And people were canvassing for Jeremy Corbyn, who was the local MP, who I've also photographed. And we can cut away to that. And basically, you step into this building and suddenly it's all modern and incredibly minimal and stylish, the furniture and so on. And you're in Ottolenghi HQ.
Yeah, you take the lift up into this stainless steel kitchen.
Yeah. And so he was being interviewed And we were sort of getting ready, weren't we?
I think like probably about 2 minutes after we arrived, he was ready to shoot.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like anyway.
The whole thing felt hustled.
Yeah.
And adding to that, I was quite hungry. And you're the same. We need food.
Constant fuel.
We need fuel. And then there was all this kind of, they've been cooking, so there was all this hummus and stuff lying around.
No, he said we can't call it hummus because that's he'd be slated online if he called that a hummus. So it was a fennel and a chickpea puree.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I remember. And we got pictures of that too. And it was unbelievable.
Yeah. So basically, it was a good example of getting something good in a very difficult situation. I think the magazine were quite astonished. And I managed to get, so I started with there was stainless steel refrigeration units. And I had to photograph him with this German cook that he was collaborating with. And that was the angle. That's why Stern were interested in, because it was sort of a kind of German, I guess he's Israeli or British kind of collaboration. And so I photographed them together, and I used the reflection. I just had to think really quickly and just put the camera on this stainless steel, so it kind of dissected the picture and used daylight and did it very, very quickly.
There was good light there, to be fair.
Yeah, it was quite bright and airy in there, although it was coming to the end of the day, so it was not...
Sometimes close to golden hour.
Yeah, I mean, I do like working at the edge of what you can get away with, you know, pushing the ISO a little higher than I might. I'm using the correct terminology, ISO rather than ASA, which is my preferred.
So ASA was just been retired, as far as I'm aware.
Well, yeah, I don't know. But we did those shots, and then I wanted to get something simple on his own, and I sort of there was a door that had sort of glass that was letting nice side light in. Again, you know, it's all daylight, and I just very quickly pushed him on this stool. And there was a bit of a plant kind of coming down playfully, and he's a very as a staunchly heterosexual man. You know, you do have to appreciate. You know, that's a George Costanza line from Seinfeld.
You've used it a few times.
Yeah, it's funny, but yeah, he's very attractive, and he was kind of like flirting with the camera, and he was very easy to photograph.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes it doesn't matter if you don't have very much time, if someone's that photogenic, and he was really nice.
Yeah, he was lovely.
He just had a sort of cool air about him, and he was everything that you'd hope, because he has this sort of huge reputation, you know, in terms of what he creates, but often that can be dashed by experiencing the person in the flesh. But he lived up to that, didn't he?
Completely.
And you could tell all the people that worked with him, they loved him.
Yeah, no, definitely. They all spoke so highly of him.
Yeah.
And then just to add to that as well, you said he's very easy to photograph, and you were focused mainly on building up a good rapport with him. And I remember I got a clip of you talking about your mum and her doings being a
That's right.
TV chef.
And yeah, so my mum was this sort of posh English lady, and she did that presentation in the 1950s on TV. It was wanted to make corn products. And yeah, so
corn products.
yeah, there's a little solitary photograph of the material style kind of value TV in our photo. Yeah, my mum died, as your granny died in January this year, and she was a television chef. She worked with Robert Carrier. I don't know if you probably don't know about that, but
no.
he knew about that. And it's always a good little ace in the hole when you're photographing a chef to be able to say, my mum worked with Robert Carrier. She was his home economist.
Yeah.
And
I'd love to find some footage of her online. I've looked, but I can't find it.
There's a photograph in the family album of her on TV, because she presented sometimes in the 1950s, this sort of looking like Snow White or something like that. But
traditional stereotype
I
housewife.
Think there was a lot missing from my childhood. There was a lot of sort of dysfunction. You know, we were kind of cast adrift. But one thing we did get is really good food.
Yeah.
I mean, my mum was a really great cook.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Yeah, and I've got. In fact, I've inherited a little metal box with all her recipes on cards and everything. I'm going to do something with those. I mean, I was thinking you could cook them all and then have a double page spread which consists of the card and then the recipe next to it.
Second channel, Fred and Harry Cooks.
Yeah, absolutely. They're great recipes, and I use a lot of them, regularly.
Cool. Cool. Okay, so back to Ottolenghi. So we took some great pictures very, very quickly. But then afterwards, we were given quite a lot of time just to chat. I think the Stern guys wanted selfies with.
Yeah, with a German magazine, they, unlike other magazines, they tend to want to photograph the writer with the subject, and they usually use that picture in the context of the beginning of the magazine, the contents page.
Oh yeah, you did the same for Klopp.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So that was a regular occurrence and something you have to allow for, because it's very easy if you're not used to doing that to forget to take that picture. But the journalists usually remind you.
They want a picture as well.
They
yeah,
do.
for
They
their
do.
Instagram.
And interestingly, the woman that we photographed with Ottolenghi, the other chef, we need to send her a picture because she was so keen. It was a highlight of her doing this book with him, and he was her mentor. So we should send her a picture because she was really lovely to us. And I don't know if you remember, but afterwards, I mean, I was quite brazen about it. I said,
I think we both were quite brazen.
I said, I'm really hungry. Do you think we could eat this stuff? It's just going to go to waste. And we were just like wolves.
Yeah, it was like a potato tart and then the fennel and chickpea puree.
So we wolfed all that down.
Yeah, we weren't even having anything to dip the hummus. We were just spooning it and
But then
spoonfuls.
But then I had to drive to Devon, so I got them to make me a proper coffee, and they put it in a jam jar because I had no means.
You've got an Ottolenghi jam jar.
An Ottolenghi jam jar, and then they gave us loads of biscuits and cakes, didn't they?
You had a Michelin star chef make you a coffee. Yes.
Well, I don't think he did.
I think she's obviously.
Well, did she do it?
Yeah, she made the coffee.
Yeah, no, she was very sweet.
And then she gave me some Tupperware. We did a bit of a Tupperware trade, and she put loads of biscuits in it.
We lucked out.
We seriously lucked out. And then straight away afterwards, I headed to my uncle's and brought these biscuits and cakes and hummus for.
Because he lives down
the road. Yeah, and I gave them some incredible food made by an incredible chef and person.
So we kind of, we kind of snatched victory from the jaws of defeat because it really didn't look great.
Where have I heard that before?
I don't know. I mean, it's a kind of
known phrase. It's a common one.
It's not that original.
Cool. Yeah. So the pictures are good. They'll all be thrown up, and I've got a bit of B-roll. Tried my best.
And the other thing, Fred, is that it's getting a bit annoying that people are asking to see you. And then the implication is that I'm hogging the limelight. So I'm going to...
Don't act like you don't want to hog the limelight.
I'm a hogger. But this is what he looks like. And I'm going to insist that he cuts this in. So
I don't know if I will, but...
Have you got anything to say?
No. All right. That's enough.
Okay.
Cool.